first question, how should a seeker be with a living master?
Very careful. And first of all, before you pick a living master, you have to make sure that they're walking their talk. Because in today's climate, there are so many people out there who are claiming to be enlightened who are not. And they are not walking their talk. Someone who's awake has a Buddhafield around them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No matter how holy they seem, if they don't have that Buddhafield, they are not awake. Or they're semi-awake, what I call half-baked enlightened. And anybody who's half-baked has not surrendered everything yet. And so they're still caught in some attachments somewhere. And those attachments and how they're caught will come out in their teachings. And so how to be with a living master, be very careful. First of all, check out and see that they're walking their talk, that they are what they claim to be. And then listen like your life depends upon it, because it does.
What is the nature of the love a true master holds for their disciples?
It's a non-worldly love, it's an unconditional love. It has no attachments in it, it has no jealousy in it, it is just pure love. Because if the person is fully awake, that's actually what they experience, unconditional love.
How does the master's love reach the disciple, even if the disciple cannot feel it?
Love is everywhere. It's like the only reason people don't perceive it is because they're closed. They're defended somehow. They're shut off from it. But it's everywhere. It's every particle. In openness, you find that to be the truth. But most human adults and children are closed. They're defended in some way against something. And those very defense systems or resistances to life are in the way of the perception of love. And love is the only thing that's valuable here. Nothing else is valuable. Anyone who's been super successful knows that super success isn't valuable, because at the top there's nothing. I've been to the top, there's nothing there. It's what turned me off business, actually. There's nothing there. You make all the money, you buy the boats, you buy the penthouses, you buy the cars, you don't work anymore, and there's still nothing. But what's left inside of you is the ambition to make money or to be successful in the material world. And that ambition drives you. And so you're still not satisfied. The only thing that has value on this plane is love. And when you find love, you find what I call manageable happiness.
Is the love of the master always present, even in the silence or absence?
When you say the love of the master, if the person's enlightened and given the label master, that person experiences themselves as love. Because every particle in the universe is made of love. And someone who's fully awake experiences themselves as every particle in the universe. And there is nothing but love. So love is everywhere. Love is in the air, everywhere you look around.
What makes the master-disciple relationship different from any other human relationship?
First of all, it's a love affair. The master is devoted to the disciple to help them get free, because the master can see that they're in suffering because they're still living as an ego or existing as an ego. The truth is They have never ever been an ego. They are pure beingness, always have been, and can be nothing else. But they think they're still an ego because awareness is locked on the mind and not on itself. So there's a trap in it. The master wants the freedom of the disciple. And in that love affair, the master tries to help to the best of his or her ability to help set the disciple free. And the love from the disciple to the master is the love of devotion. And in devotion comes the willingness to die for truth. Because it is only in the willingness to die for truth that the I actually dies, that the ultimate accident can occur in unconditional surrender to beingness or truth, whatever you want to call it. So it is a very beautiful relationship, platonic.
Does the master's presence begin to live inside the disciple even when they are apart?
If the disciple is sensitive enough, the disciple will sense the presence of the master inside of them always, because the master is experiencing self as everything. Always. That's very hard for the ego to comprehend, but that's the experience of enlightenment. I am that I am. I am all. I am everything.
What happens in the disciple's being when they surrender to the teacher?
They start finding themselves as truth. They start finding themselves as something other than the I, something that is greater. Because the Buddhafield around someone who's awake is an entry point into your own true nature. It does the work because it expands the mind. It opens the heart. It undoes all the coping mechanisms that keep people stuck. You get too close to someone who's awake and you get undone. But the undoing is that of everything in the way. It's like a reverse engineering. Because none of us were programmed for freedom, or love, or happiness. We were programmed for imprisonment and basically suffering. The master is free of suffering. The master knows the way home. So when you're lost in a jungle and someone who's a guide says, "I'll take you home," you follow the guide.
What is the right way to handle doubt towards the master?
Doubt is a healthy aspect of the seeker. Any person that asks you to believe them probably has their hand in your back pocket trying to get your money. Faith is not required. What's required is your own direct experience. Believe nothing. Have faith in nothing. Just do the work on yourself that will be described to you by the master, which will just be spiritual practices towards higher consciousness and freedom. Have no faith. Believe nobody. Trust your own direct experience only.
Last question. What is the right way to serve a master, especially when the ego still wants something in return?
Ego can't help that. That's the nature of the ego, to want something in return. So the question was, how can you best serve the master? Whatever you can do. For me, when I was a seeker and I was married and I had little kids and I couldn't travel because I had little kids and I had to wait for awake teachers to come to Perth, I would host them. I'd put them up at my place. I'd feed them, I'd drive them around, I'd pay for them everywhere. I became their devoted servant because I knew how valuable it was to be in the presence of someone who's awake. The words are all bullshit. It is the presence that is the entry point into your own true nature, and someone who's awake carries that entry point. And I knew this.